Everton 1, Leicester City 0. Abdoulaye Doucouré with the goal inside the first minute. Jordan Pickford, the goalkeeper, with the assist. A long ball into the box. Doucouré with a fine finish. Everton 1, Leicester City 0.
Millwall lead QPR by a goal to nil in the Championship. Crawley 0, Wrexham 1 is a latest score in League One as Wrexham look to try and bounce back. Phil Parkinson's side were beaten by Stevenage in midweek as Kepa, all in yellow, away towards our left-hand side, clears long, Semenyo rises, and in front of that east stand at this tiny, compact little stadium on the south coast, the capacity of just over 11,300. It's everybody's packed in for this eagerly awaited game for two informed sides in the top flight. Let's get news of that Wrexham goal then from Emily Herbert.
And not even 2 minutes in, Wrexham are fired into the lead. Matthew James, a lovely squared ball in from the right and from the edge of the box, whacks it in. It's Crawley 0, Wrexham 1.
Alexander Arnold, far side the right, plays it back to Konate. Konate will just try and put his foot on the ball. When they played back in September, it was a commentary on 5 Live. Liverpool won 3-0. But even then, Bournemouth still contributed to an excellent game of football as Gakpo tries to flick it on. Zabani will volley it away. That ball, though, is picked up by McAllister, central area, rolls it out towards Salah, closed down by Kerkez, comes in off the right touchline, looks for the run of McAllister, keeps the ball in play as McAllister, but Bournemouth with Kerkez will clear it out of play for a throw. Pat.
Do you know, it's really interesting to see how Liverpool have started this game. Right at the start they tried to pass, launched it, absolutely launched it. By the way, there's something that happened just off the camera there, going down injured. Was it yeah, it's McAllister, but there was nothing massive in it. First time I've seen it. Now seeing it again. There's 2 players went down. Who else has stayed down?
Adams has stayed down at the moment. I mean, he's had a really unfortunate time of it, has Tyler Adams. He's required back surgery, which caused him to miss the season, but he's stayed down. It was just a little collision, really, wasn't it, with McAllister?
He doesn't look very comfortable, though. It's really hard to see what actually went wrong with him there, but maybe something across his throat, sort of thing, so giving a little bit of a surprise. But just to finish what I was saying there about Liverpool, going long with it, launching it very, very long. But the thing is, even though they've got a main man up front of Diaz, who's not the tallest, they seem to be winning the second balls quite well, so real different change, real change for Liverpool in their style.
QPR have equalised in the Championship. Millwall 1, QPR 1. Still Adams is getting treatment. We'll go to Mas Farouki at St James's Park.
0-0 here, half chance for Isak, couldn't control the cross from the right from Livramento. Guimaraes has headed over as well. Joe Linton with the strike, edge of the area, just over the Fulham crossbar as well. So the home side started brightly, but still Newcastle 0, Fulham 0.
The League Two leaders Walsall, who've lost back-to-back games, have fallen behind at home to Salford City. Walsall 0, Salford City 1 is the latest score in League Two. The results from the earlier games, incidentally: Cheltenham beat Chesterfield 1-0, Gillingham 1, Notts County 2. So Notts County went second after that result at Priestfield. Back underway here, 5 minutes played. Here is Van Dijk in the centre circle. He goes short and square. Robertson over the halfway line, plays it then to Konate, hits it early out towards Gakpo, but he's overhit it and it will go out of play for a throw-in. Adam Kocher will have news of that Salford goal.
Scored by Cole Stockton with a low shot into the bottom corner after a neat touch in the box from a Delican's right-wing cross. Walsall 0, Salford 1. 6
minutes played, and that injury just has disrupted what was a very good tempo to the start of the game.
It is a shame that, but certainly Bournemouth aren't doing anything different. Ball being played from the back there. Trent Alexander-Arnold, he had the ball at his feet, but he's just to give him more time than that. He was closed down and ended up giving the ball out of play. You can see exactly what Areola wants his team to do.
Van Dijk just gets there before Ouattara. Konate plays the ball towards Szoboszlai. Liverpool are attacking. Szoboszlai over the halfway line, right-hand side to Gravenberch. Lets it come across his body onto his left boot. Then goes to Robertson, but Bournemouth are quickly back into their Shallister. And then Gakpo's ball is going to go astray towards Semenyo. But 2 white shirts will go in pursuit of Semenyo, and he overruns it. There's been a goal at Ellen Road in the Championship. Lee Blakeman.
Leeds 1, Cardiff 0. Good work by Dan James in the build-up. Teed up Brendan Aronson 12 yards out to fire home. Leeds 1, Cardiff 0.
Hull City are also ahead against Stoke City in the Championship. Hull City 1, Stoke City 0. Shrewsbury 0, Mansfield Town 1. is the latest score in League One. As we welcome listeners to the BBC World Service to hear at the Vitality Stadium on the south coast of England, Bournemouth against Liverpool. It's always a pleasure to have your company on this grey, chilly afternoon down on the south coast as Semenyo waits and plays the ball inside off that left touchline. Liverpool, though, with the interception. Could be a counter-attack here. Diaz. Zabani tries to hold him up. The referee plays the advantage. Diaz gets it away towards Salah. Howson, though, was quick to get there towards Salah and unfairly holds him. It'll be a free kick to Liverpool. Another goal at Goodison. John Bennett.
The Everton fans can't believe this. Everton 2, Leicester City 0. This time it's Beto. A ball from the right-hand side into the box. Poor defending from Leicester. Beto with an excellent finish. Everton 2, Leicester City 0.
Port Vale are leading Accrington Stanley by 1-0. That is in League 2. And there's been that goal for Hull City. Naz Premji has news of it, the details.
Yes, it was a short corner routine, Deno, and a flick finish from Elio Mataza, one of their new signings. It's Hull City 1, Stoke City 0.
Robertson hits the ball from this left-back roll just in front of us as we sit right at the halfway line. And then Bournemouth with Cook once again playing at right-back to Kepa. Clears it long. Konate, though, will head it forward. And in fact, there was Ouattara, I think, coming back from an offside position. It'll be a free kick to Liverpool. Pat.
Yeah, again, you say it slowed down, but only for a little while. Both teams are set out exactly how we expected them to. Not that many chances in the last few minutes, and a bit of a surprise. The other side of Stanley Park, Everton 2-0 up. Moyes the magician.
I know.
It's incredible, the changes now.
Well, there were 6 points clear of Leicester going into that game. So it's a significant fixture for them, but what a revival it's been for David Moyes and Everton. Here is Szoboszlai running at the heart of the Bournemouth defence. He looks to go on the outside of Sabani to the edge of the area, and then just as he wants to check back in to hit a right-footed shot, he's saying he had his left leg taken away from him. Break now for Bournemouth with Kluivert over the halfway line. Semenyo is away towards his left. The red and black striped shirts are flooding forward, as is Kerkez. Kerkez with a cutback strikes the heels of Konate and allows Gravenberch to get the ball away. But what an open game.
Yeah, and the break there was fantastic. Szoboszlai, as you were saying, he was on about the 18-yard line, maybe 20 yards out, lost the ball, maybe pushed a little bit, but the speed at which Bournemouth broke from there was incredible. Didn't quite get a shot away, but you're right, it's end to end.
Here is Brooks, just in from the right touchline. Already 9 minutes in, this game is living up to everything that we hoped it would be in terms of a spectacle. Darren England, incidentally, is the referee. He was the VAR for that controversial moment at Molineux last week. I think Pat as a former player, Pat.
I would have headed that. It was just slightly too high. A call I often said during my career.
Alisson's clearance was coming straight for us, and I was taking no chances.
I was halfway up. Can't catch it, you got a microphone in your hand.
Bournemouth with the throw. So Darren England is the man in the middle, but it's his first Liverpool game that he's taken charge of since that controversial fixture at Tottenham in September 2023, when he incorrectly disallowed a Luis Diaz goal when he was the VAR. So Darren England is the man in the middle.
I think Diaz has had a wee word with him before the game. Best not to say him to the referee in these situations.
Here is Adams, showing no ill effects from that earlier injury as Howson has played the ball straight out, and it goes out for a Liverpool throw on that far side. Nottingham Forest beating Brighton Hove Albion by 7-0, a Chris Wood hat-trick. Brighton, who their record defeat was actually against Middlesbrough back in 1958, but in terms of the Premier League, that is a record defeat in that competition. As Gravenberch plays it forward, Diaz short and square. Szoboszlai just went straight between his legs. He couldn't control the ball. Christie might have overrun that. Robertson quick to close down his fellow Scot. Ball hit then by Cook towards Ouattara. Van Dijk, though, was alert. Looked like handball from Ouattara. Plays it back then towards Brooks. Brooks on the inside of the right touchline. Christie tries to open it up towards that far side, but it drifts away from Semenyo, who then gifts it towards Salah, and Salah running in behind. There was no Kerkez, who was forward. Semenyo, though, recovers, gets the foot into the challenge. Terrific pace.
Yeah, brilliant play by Semenyo there. I mean, poor touch from at the start. He don't give a chance to Mo Salah, but he chased back. And the understanding he's got over that left-hand side with Kerkez, you know, they defend well, they work hard together, but when they attack and when they break, both of them are flying down that side. Trent Alexander's going to have some questions to answer today.
Tranmere Rovers 0, Colchester United 1 is the latest score in League 2. Christie plays the ball back, Zabani. Adams collects the ball inside the centre circle. Fullbacks, though, are pushed on. In fact, Kirkes went into that inverted role. Semenyo was the one out wide on that left at the moment. Kirkes then just shreds the ball back towards Howson. He plays it out towards Semenyo, who's just stood still on that left touchline. And he created a bit of space by doing exactly that. Here is Kirkes. Kirkes running back down the touchline towards Howson. And then Howson on that far side, the left. 12.5 minutes played. BBC Radio 5 Live, also available on BBC Sounds, the app. Here is Cook off his chest, infield. Brooks plays it back towards Cook, gives it back, nice little passing. Cook then now chances to work in the cross. Alexander-Arnold's head is going to drop towards Semenyo. Both he and Kluivert both go for the same ball. Kluivert is still there, and in the end, from the acutest of angles, his left-footed shot was turned behind by Allison at his near post for a corner.
The speed of the feet of Kluivert there was exceptional. Second favourite to win the ball. When it dropped at his feet there, he just trinkled towards his way all the way to the byline there. Goalkeeper was ready for it, but he is fearful of no one. He's playing with such confidence just now, Kluivert. And if you give him half a chance at a goal just now, he'll just pass it in.
Fylde Coast derby today, and Morecambe are leading Fleetwood by 1-0 in League 2. Corner kick to Bournemouth. In swinger from that far side, punched away by Allison, collected by Alexander-Arnold. Alexander-Arnold away from Semenyo, then stopped by Christie. Christie comes forward, Szoboszlai tries to hold him up. Momentarily he achieved that, but Christie and then Zabani, his forward ball. Ouattara tries to roll away from McAllister, then comes on the inside. His ball cut out by Robertson, only as far as Christie. Semenyo will shoot, blocked by Robertson, rebounds towards Salah, midway through the Liverpool half. Szoboszlai waits, looks for the run of McAllister going on ahead of him, and McAllister will get there and quickly passes the ball out towards Diaz. And Diaz now on this left touchline. Gakpo has gone central for the time being. White shirts, black shorts of Liverpool. No width now as Diaz makes that run on the inside, and it goes back with Gravenberch, and he looks to the left, but there's nobody there. Another goal at Ellen Road. Lee Blakeman.
2-0 to Leeds, another assist for Dan James, this time teeing up Manor Solomon for a tap-in at the back post. Leeds 2, Cardiff 0.
Salah rolls it in, goes away from Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai tries to get it back. Liverpool are back in possession now with Robertson. Wimbledon are leading Bradford City by 1-0 in League 2. And ball up towards Salah, right corner of the area. Szoboszlai joins him. Salah inside. Alexander-Arnold is forward, edge of the area. Side onto goal is Diaz. Now with his back to goal. McAllister 30 yards out. Passes the ball towards Salah. Left-footed cross. Cut out by the head of Zabani. It might roll out of play for a corner. Salah will wait, and in fact keeps the ball in play down by that corner flag.
It's completely breathless stuff, isn't it? I mean, the pace at which Bournemouth play is absolutely fantastic. A little bit more control from Liverpool, though.
Salah running forward, enters the penalty area right-hand side. Szoboszlai plays it back. McAllister goes square. Alexander-Arnold has a shot, charged down, comes out towards McAllister again. Because Alexander-Arnold is central, Liverpool again had no width on the right, and they were forced to go back. Fort Vale, incidentally, are down to 10 men. Because there's been a sending off. Tom Sang has been dismissed as they lead Accrington Stanley by 1-0. No other goals to tell you about, but we can go to Portman Road and Chris Cole.
Ipswich 0, Southampton 0, still waiting for the first chance of the game, but the home side look the more likely to find a breakthrough. Julio Enciso with their best chance, a weak effort from the edge of the box. Ipswich 0, Southampton 0.
Leyton Orient unbeaten in 11 in League 1 have fallen behind. Leyton Orient 0, Stockport County 1.
Amazing tactical thing happening with Bournemouth just now. Howson, centre back, right into the midfield there, leaving it 1-on-1 at the back there. How brave you have to be to do that, your Bournemouth.
Here is Gravenberch spreading the ball out to Gakpo. Gakpo lets the ball bounce off his chest, comes forward. Cook was holding his left arm. Gakpo will still run in field, looks for a shooting opportunity and gets it away. Right-footed, but Kepa made the save, going down to his right with his body behind the ball.
You know, watching that, it was a really unusual technical thing that Bournemouth did there. Most teams wouldn't do that generally, but doing it against Liverpool, going man-to-man in the back and sending your centre-back away, going to midfield there, close down there, make sure there's no space there. Howson is a very intriguing player to watch. I mean, he's been a star so far, the period he's been on this season, but on the ball, dare I say it, there's a bit of the Van Dijk's about him. He looks pretty good on the ball. Not that I'm saying he's a replacement in the long term, but He looks quite special at the moment.
He's still only 19 years of age as well, Pat.
Yeah, he's special. You can tell that some players, you know, can have a little period of time where they have a golden little period, and there's others you just think, you've got it, mate, and he's got it.
Lewis Cook is being told to come off the field of play, so there must be blood there. He's being patched up.
Yeah.
He's got a bloody nose, and because of the blood, he's got to leave the field. That's what Darren England has said. Cook didn't want to come off. He's just had a swab, I think, stuffed up one of his nostrils.
Yeah, they found the thing, you don't know what you're doing, but in actual fact, he's not an option. He has to do that. If there's blood coming out, you have to make sure that the player's off.
In fact, he's got 2 swabs up both nostrils as Cook.
Not a great look.
Not great for breathing, I would imagine, either.
Absolutely not.
So his hands are going to have to be washed. They've got to go through all the correct protocol of the officials in that sense. Dundee 0, Hearts 1 is the latest score in the Scottish Premiership. No other goals to tell you about. BBC Radio 5 Live. We've got the rugby immediately after the football. So Scotland-Italy on Sports Extra. And in fact, it's Scotland 19, Italy 9. France last night racked up a 43-0 victory over Wales. The second half is on Sports Extra of that. And as soon as then after that, the build-up to the game in Dublin will be on Sports Extra. So you won't miss any of the rugby if you want on Sports Extra. Then eventually it will be on here on BBC Radio 5 Live. So we're going to be flexible, because then the first half of Wolves-Aston Villa will be on Sports Extra, and on the conclusion of the rugby, then we'll get the second half of Molineux, if that's easy to follow. 5 Live. So all about the live action this Saturday afternoon, and we'll keep you in touch as well with the Dublin Racing Festival, day 1 today. We've got the Irish Gold Cup chase at 3:30 with John Hunt. Ouattara looks for Kluivert. Kluivert came short, the ball went long.
Yeah, it can happen now and again with 2 players playing together. Kluivert, who's been known to play as a centre forward, and Ouattara not always a centre forward themselves, so they can adapt with each other. One can go long sometimes, the other goes long sometimes. That time, not quite in the same wavelength.
Harry Kane, I notice, is on the score sheet again for Bayern Munich as they lead by 2-0. I'm sure the Celtic scouts now will be watching Bayern Munich with great interest after that draw yesterday for the Champions League playoff. It'll just over a fortnight's time as the ball is headed away by Van Dijk. Coming forward was Christie, blocked by Robertson. Really is a watchable contest, a really good game.
It is. It kind of deserves a goal by now. It's not had a goal. Not that many clear-cut chances either, but the pace of the game, the willingness of both sides to, put as many players forward as they possibly can, and the willingness to attack at every given opportunity. Really enjoyable game to watch.
The blood-stained nose of Cook. He's got rid of one of the swabs. He's back on the field of play. It's his diagonal ball that tried to be turned around by Ouattara towards Brooks on this near side, the right. Instead, Ouattara now goes central. Kluivert out towards the left side of the penalty area. Semenyo tries to come inside. Semenyo still has the ball, surrounded by the white shirts, and he hits the frame of the goal. Comes out towards Christie. Christie has an effort blocked by Gravenberch. The closest we've had to a goal. Semenyo's rising left-footed effort back off the left-hand post.
And McPhee's getting nowhere near that, even if it was his near post. Not a hope in the world of getting near that. Very unlucky.
Brooks with a cross, and Van Dijk forced to stoop and head it behind for a corner. Good spell for Bournemouth.
Well, they've lifted it a bit, Bournemouth. But Semenyo, when he got the ball on the left-hand side there, it didn't look as if there was much on there. But from a really acute angle, he got so much power on it. Alisson lifted his right arm there. If he'd have actually caught the ball, it would have broken his hand. What a hit that was.
Dundee 0, Hearts 2, Swansea City 0, Coventry City 1 is the latest score in the Championship. Corner taken short on the right-hand side. Brooks towards Semenyo. Semenyo now delivers the cross. It's a deep one and over everybody's head, and it'll go out of play for a throw.
It's a bit of a shame that for Semenyo. I mean, he's looked dangerous right from the first minute. It was only about 20 or 30 seconds into the game. He got the first shot away. Starved of the ball for about 10 or 15 minutes there, but when he gets the ball in the last third, he's not one of those modern wingers who gets the ball and then thinks about it and then turns back. You know he's going to attack the full-back, and he did it there, and he's very unlucky not to score.
Liverpool supporters who've made that long journey down from Merseyside to the south coast are in good voice on that far side in this tiny, compact little ground. No other goals in the Football League, but there has in the Premier League. It's at Portman Road. Chris Coles.
And it's gone to the Premier League's bottom side. Southampton in front with their first attack of the game. Messi, Joe Aribo got the final touch. Harry Muric should have saved it. Ipswich 0, Southampton 1.
13 without a win in the Premier League, Southampton. Try at Murrayfield, Jamie Lyle.
And Italy suddenly from 19 points to 9 down have levelled. Finn Russell's pass intercepted on halfway by Juan Ignacio Prex, who ran all the way untouched to stun Murrayfield into silence. Suddenly we're all square in this Six Nations opener.
Commentary continues on Sports Extra. Every game we will have commentary for you, whether it be on 5 Live, BBC Sounds, or indeed on the website as well. And there is a Rugby Union weekly podcast that is available daily during the course of the Six Nations. As Semenyo tries to come in between two Liverpool players, but then loses the ball. Diaz to Szoboszlai, Salah to Gakpo, forward of the centre circle, central area. He's got runners ahead of him. One of them is Szoboszlai, enters the penalty area. Szoboszlai shoots, saved by Kepa. He was low down towards his right. We'll go to Everton, John Bennett.
Everton 2, Leicester City 0, but Everton thought they had a third. Branthwaite's header tapped in at the far post by O'Brien, but he was offside. Everton 2, Leicester City 0.
Midway through the first half, McAllister picks it up. Still 0-0 here between Bournemouth and Liverpool, but that was the first real save for the Bournemouth keeper.
Yeah, got down to his left-hand side very, very quickly, but again, similar to the way Bournemouth are playing. When they break with such speed. Liverpool, you feel as if it shouldn't get to half-time 0-0.
Here is Robertson. Gakpo back out on the left-hand side. And Doni Irola is making his instructions across with a little flick of the fingers on his right hand as he watches and patrols with his black coat matching that of his hair, as Salah has his legs taken from underneath him by Adams, and that will be a free kick to Liverpool inside the Bournemouth half. Yeah,
he doesn't got a lot of space in a lot of the games, particularly in first half, Salah, but he knows that, he understands that. He plays waiting for some space to develop in second halves, and he's so dangerous when that happens.
McAllister wriggles away from Christie, runs with the ball and then passes the ball out towards Gakpo. Looks to go on the outside of Cook towards the byline, plays it in low, and it's cleared away by Howson. Only as far as McAllister chips the ball in. Diaz tries to get there with a flick header. He was falling as he tried to do so with that diagonal run in towards the 6-yard area. St James's Park, Mas Faruqi.
Fulham seeing a bit more of the ball now. Away making the runs down the left, Traore down the right, but yet really to worry Dubravka in the Newcastle goal. It is still Newcastle 0, Fulham 0.
Salah with a tame shot, easily saved by Kepa.
Yeah, Kirkus caught playing the ball out, but they won't stop Bournemouth trying to do that when they have to. It really is intriguing now to watch Trent Alexander-Arnold playing against Semenyo on the far side from where we're sitting just now, because when Semenyo gets the ball, you can tell he believes he can do Trent. And Trent was caught just a moment ago there trying to volley the ball away, and he looked really spooked by it. What Trent Alexander-Arnold has to do is pushing him up the other end and get him defending against him, but at the moment he's not been able to do that.
That's Pat Nevin here on BBC Radio 5 Live. Adams lifts the ball forward on that far side to left. That bouncing ball was awkward for Konate. Couldn't get there. Kluivert then will turn. Holds on to the ball with the stuck to his feet. Helped out by Adams. Yeah, midway through the Liverpool half. Adams will go square. Nice take into feet by Christie. Passes the ball towards Cook. Along the ground it goes. Forward to Brooks. 25 yards out from goal. Back with Cook. Liverpool had every white shirt back behind the ball, all inside their own half, as they played from right to left as we look. And now Bournemouth in their half with Zabani, closed down by Diaz, releases it towards Cook, just like the fullbacks to push on does Irola. Here is Brooks. Brooks coming inside, and he's caught by Gravenberch. Bournemouth supporters aren't happy with that challenge, as Howson went to ground early, and Salah he might have just been nicked there by Howson.
A much more open game there. Both of those could have been called as fouls, but they weren't. Brilliant defending as usual from Van Dijk there. But the chances that the players are taking in midfield, making an effort to go beyond the players that mark them, not always playing the safe ball, is the reason why this is a very, very entertaining game.
Hibs are leading Aberdeen by 1-0. Millwall are back in front. They lead Queen's Park Rangers by 2-1. Back to Goodison, John Bennett.
Everton 2, Leicester City 0. First chance for Leicester. Christensen with an effort over the bar. By the way, Doucouré's goal timed at 8 seconds. That's very close to the Premier League record of 7.69 seconds. Everton 2, Leicester City 0.
Yes, that was Shane Long for Southampton against Watford.
Very good. Well remembered.
Which had beaten the previous record, which I think was Ledley King for Tottenham against Bradford City a number of years ago. 27 minutes played. This is Anorak's corner. Robertson looks for the run of Gakpo. Gakpo makes the run in behind Cook. Oh, he's tripped. Got to be a penalty. And the referee duly obliges. No hesitation there from Darren England. It was a trip all day long.
I mean, he didn't deliberately do it. I mean, he's got in front of the defender there, and he's run across him. And if you run across the defender, your legs can get entangled. And if you're in front, you've got right away. So I don't think there's much of an argument there. That's a penalty kick out. I agree with you completely. Yes, they will check it in the VAR, but you know what?
Ooh.
As we say that, I think there's a tiny little touch in the back of his leg, but in the end, yeah, no, it's a penalty. I think it's a penalty. Yes, his own feet look as if they've chipped into each other, but I think that's because one of his heels was clipped into the other. The question is, was he offside in the first place?
Well, VAR will be having a look at that. That's John Brooks to see whether he was onside or offside as he ran forward.
It was very, very tight, the onside offside, when the ball was played through there. And it looked to me like, absolutely, like you said there, it looked clear cut as a little clip. And then the legs then clip, your own legs clip together, and that's fine. But, do you know what, I'm just looking at that first. Hard to see. We've got some pictures here, but they seem to have ignored the offside, so checking the penalty for the foul now. And I thought it was a penalty, but we shall see.
There might be a talking point as to whether he tripped himself up. No,
I don't think so.
The referee has got the word from Stockley Park. The penalty stands.
No.
Now, Luis Diaz currently has the ball.
You can learn nothing from that these days. Absolutely nothing.
I saw that in at Villa Park in midweek. Two Aston Villa players held the ball before they eventually passed it on to Watkins, who ultimately slipped. But it is going to be, and he missed the penalty as a result, it is going to be Mo Salah.
I think I can remember the first time that was ever done deliberately. It was certainly the first time I saw it. And it was Kai Havertz eventually took the penalty, and it was Azpilicueta who held the ball well and took the stick.
Now, Kepa has saved 7 of his 29 penalties that he's faced in his career. You might remember that incredible League Cup final shootout where Kepa starred in that. He's now facing Mo Salah. Mo Salah, who has scored 6 of his 7 penalties this season. Penalty then, just before the half hour here at Bournemouth. BBC Radio 5 Live. Mo Salah waits with hands on hips on the edge of the penalty area. It's going to be a direct run-up. Kepa all in yellow. Triples from side to side. Salah makes his run, hits it left-footed and scores his 20th league goal of the season. First time that he's hit that mark in the Premier League. For the first time in 3 years, as he puts the leaders in front. 1-0.
You know, in the run-up there, you just didn't think he was going to miss it. There was such a confidence about him. Kepa tried to stay in his line and tried not to move for as long as you could. Problem is, if you don't move, he just smashes it in the corner. And it just about, well, I say just about, that's incorrect. It does hit the side netting as it goes in. Perfect penalty kick by Mo Salah. No shock there. 1-0. Didn't think it was going to get to half-time 0-0.
No. Low left-footed penalty into the bottom right-hand corner, and Mo Salah, his overall tally is 24, but that is the 5th occasion that he has now scored 20 league goals in a season in his Liverpool career. And it also means as well for Mo Salah that he has moved level with Frank Lampard into joint 6th with his 177th goal in the Premier League. And Sergio Aguero in the top 5 is now within his sights. Aguero is 184. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Luton Town 1, Harrogate Town 1, Crewe 0. Crewe have been on a good run of form. They've only lost 2 of their last 20 in League 2. And Luton Town, who've lost 11 of their last 11 away from home in the Championship, leading then at Hillsborough.
Well, the referee done very, very well there. His assistant referee made a mistake over there on the far side there, but he's turned it over. And just at the moment, it's all about timing, isn't it? And Mo Salah scored there just when Bournemouth were maybe having the best moment of the game.
Another goal in the Premier League, back to Portman Road, Chris Coles.
And it's an equaliser for Ipswich, level against Southampton. Their main man for goals, Liam Delap, clean through, all the time in the world. Good finish past Ramsdale. Ipswich 1, Southampton 1.
We have got 13 minutes remaining. The referee's call of penalty was checked and confirmed by VAR, with the challenge deemed to have been a trip by Cook on Gakpo. The VAR also confirmed Gakpo was onside in the build-up. As the ball comes in, diving header, flags up anyway by Luis Diaz. That was a message that was just appeared on the screen over on that far side. Where will we go next then on BBC Radio 5 Live? They're underway at Leopardstown, the Dublin Racing Festival for the Irish Gold Cup. John Hunt.
Yes, they've just taken the second of their 17 fences. Galopin de Champs, the horse, bidding to win this for a third straight year. The dual Cheltenham Gold Cup winner lands just in front of the third fence. His main rival, in fact, to file, wanting nothing to do with the early pace, settled to the back end of the field.
Doncaster Rovers lead MK Dons by a goal to nil in League Two. Bournemouth trailing by a goal to nil. BBC Radio 5 Live, the World Service and BBC Sounds. Left-hand side, Semenyo to Kirkes. Kirkes slides into that and actually gets the cross low, picked up by Allison.
Yeah, and Kanate was actually sliding into us to get a touch there. And you can tell by the way he raised his hands, he thought, thank goodness I didn't touch that there. We've already seen one own goal from that sort of position earlier in the day with Nottingham Forest. And he almost did it again there, but Allison was on top of it.
Huddersfield Town, who are actually unbeaten in 7 on their travels, are behind at Sixfields in League One. Northampton Town 1, Huddersfield Town 0. Liverpool are leading by a goal to nil. We've got 12 minutes to go to half-time here on 5 Live, where you won't miss any of Ireland against England. We'll have that covered for you, whether it be on Sports Extra and then here on 5 Live. So there's no sports report tonight, so all the reaction for all of the games in the Premier League will be on the 5 Live Football Daily Podcast. Gravenberch does ever so well, then caught in possession by Christie, and Christie hits it long towards Ouattara, but Van Dijk just comes across and glides across and never looks phased.
He never ever does, and every time the ball goes over the top of Virgil van Dijk, you think, oh, a young lad like Ouattara will get great pace, or it might be Clyde there, great pace, and then you see, you know, Van Dijk, who is 34 just now. You think surely he's losing some of it. Nope. Absolutely never in doubt.
Tranmere Rovers 0, Colchester United 2. Chris Coles at Portman Road.
Ipswich so close to taking the lead, still 1-1 with Southampton. Delap to Broadhead, left-hand side of the area, little dink, good save Ramsdale. Still Ipswich 1, Southampton 1.
Salah the goal scorer, coming in field off that far right touchline. Liverpool in their white shirts, playing from right to left as we look. Alexander-Arnold is ahead of him. Midway through the Bournemouth half, he plays it forward. Salah accelerates, keeps the ball in play. Down by the byline, and Liverpool get a throw by the corner flag.
Yeah, Houston's over there very, very quickly, sees where the danger is, and he gets over and stops Salah doing that there. By the way, just a moment before, Diaz took a piece of skill, the ball, he took it down as if it was the easiest thing in the world. Beautiful skill, that man.
Down by the corner flag, far side the right. Throw goes in towards Diaz. Semenyo will volley it high and away from the penalty area. Bouncing ball midway through the Bournemouth half. Gakpo loses out. Brooks comes forward. Robertson comes across. And in the end, the Bournemouth player almost ran into in fact, he did run into the fourth official. We'll go to St James's Park, Maz Faruqi.
Tonali's just leathered a shot from distance off the Fulham crossbar. It was hit with such force in front of the Gallagate end, but bounces out to safety. Still Newcastle 0, Fulham 0.
Ouattara running at the heart of the Liverpool defence, looks for a forward ball, cut out though by Van Dijk before it could reach Kluivert. As we'll go back to John Hunt.
Through halfway here, the Irish Gold Cup, Galopin de Champs still leading. I Am Maximus not travelling well, and at the back end of the group, Factor-File yet to play his hand. We're entering the final mile now, Ian, and just 7 to jump.
Listening to John, can't wait for the Cheltenham Festival. I think it was 45 days, so it's 38 days now to the Cheltenham Festival, and you'll hear John calling all the races. Cambridge United 0, Wycombe 1, and you'll have the best possible coverage on BBC Radio 5 Live for those 4 days in March.
You keep on saying days. I know you say sleeps. That's what you think.
There's been a goal at Cambridge United. It's involving Cambridge and Wycombe. Mark Webber.
Yeah, it's Cambridge United 0, Wycombe Wanderers 1, 34 minutes in. Cameron Humphreys onto the rebound after initial clearance, making it Cambridge 0, Wycombe Wanderers 1.
And Shrewsbury are down to 10 men as they trail at home by a goal to 0 against Mansfield. Bournemouth are on the attack, looking for an equaliser. Semenyo does a little step over, enters the penalty area.
Closer, Hewitt's up there on the outside as well. Then Grange Clare West, they're all trying to come now at Galopin Duchamp, who is asked for a little bit more for the first time by rider Paul Townend as they turn for home. Conflated's well off with the pace as well. He's got no chance. Manila Kakuna seems to be a long way back as well. I Am Maximus, the Grand National winner, also towards the rear. Galopin Duchamp is going to have to fight for this here. Down towards the final fence. He's still in front, but only just from Fact to File in second place. Two stablemates, two great old rivals. Grange Clare West is there in the outside in third place, but away from the final fence. This is where Galopin Duchamp comes into his own, and he starts to extend away like the champion who we know he is. Galopin Duchamp joins Florida Pearl, a three-time winner of the Irish Gold Cup, and he remains hot favourite for the Gold Cup at Cheltenham. He'll attempt best mates three-timer there in 5 weeks' time. For today, Galopin Duchamp was absolutely sensational and remains unbeaten at Leopardstown.
Well, thank you, John. He is simply a class act, Galopin Duchamp. The goal here doesn't stand. Kirkes was ruled to be offside as he crossed the ball from the left-hand side. So it remains Bournemouth 0, Liverpool 1. But there's been a goal elsewhere. It's at Newcastle, Masfarouki.
And it's for Newcastle. Murphy with the goal, but it's all about the build-up from Gordon, the pace, the run down the left, the cut back into the Fulham area. Newcastle 1, Fulham 0.
6 minutes to go to half-time.
You know, you almost missed that there, what happened in that offside. It was Van Dijk stepping out at the right second. Extraordinary how well he timed it. And it's one of those things, you look at Kirkes going left-hand side, beautifully worked down that side there. Not all looked like a goal all day long. But Van Dijk had looked along the line and thought, I'll step out and kill that. He did.
They had a good, long, hard look at it. I thought for a minute that the outstretched leg of Konate might have just played him on, but Kirkes was ruled to be offside. A busy day of live sport on 5 Live, and another try at Murrayfield. Jamie Lyle.
Just when Scotland needed some inspiration, boy, have they found it. An 80-yard cracker started by Darcy Graham, bouncing off the right touchline, finished under the sticks again for Hugh Jones. His second try, Scotland's fourth. Bonus point secured, but still a long way to go in this one. They lead 26-19 against the Italians as we enter the final quarter.
Ireland, England to come later on. Robertson forward over the halfway line, bursts past Christie. Inside now to Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai passes the ball towards Salah. Salah enters the area, sends over the cross. Alexander-Arnold with a header straight at Kepa. It was a comfortable height for the keeper.
Yeah, again, end-to-end as it has been for the entirety of this first half so far. It just shows you the difference, how little there has been between the two sides in this game. Lots and lots of attacking, both sides there. But the offside that wasn't given against Liverpool when they eventually got the penalty kick, it was millimetres in it. And the offside that Liverpool did get that stopped that goal going in, it just shows you how close it is.
The champion, in fact, being linked with Liverpool as the Hungarian has done ever so well. I mean, some of their recruitment has been superb for Bournemouth. I mean, we all know that Irola likes to get young players in. He likes to develop them, as Semenyo. And of course, last season was their 12th finish, their best ever in the top flight. 48 points, their best ever haul, and one. Northampton Town have got a second against Huddersfield. Northampton 2, Huddersfield Town 0. Pat.
Yeah, Kirkes says, talked about him earlier on in the game on the left-hand side alongside Semenyo. If you're a Bournemouth fan, you want the ball out there as often as possible because they look so dangerous. They almost scored beforehand, but every time he's on the ball, Semenyo, he's giving Trent Alexander a hard time. That's nothing against Trent Alexander-Arnold. It's just that he's a really good player.
Diaz looks to release Salah. Kepa comes out of his penalty area, slides on one knee, clears it left-footed, out of play for a throw over on that far side. Liverpool have a throw on the right, 1-0.
He's just looking at Kepa coming out there. He's looked very good today, hasn't he? Lots of whispers going around. I don't think Chelsea's current goalkeepers that have got in are necessarily any better than this man who's out on loan.
Yeah, Kepa, 5 clean sheets in his 17 appearances this season. From the throw on that far side, Liverpool will go back, Gravenberch towards Konate, and he will go further back towards Alisson. We'll nip to Fratton Park now. Hamish Marshall.
0-0, 3 minutes to half-time.
Third place, Burnley being held, but they came close twice. Nicholas Schmidt in the Pompey goal. 2 saves to deny Lyle Foster and Jaden Anthony. 0-0.
Diaz runs forward. Gakpo off the left, sends in across towards the penalty area. Howson's header clears the penalty area, edge of the area. Semenya caught. Gakpo threads it back through. This is Salah to Szoboszlai, hits it first time right-footed, leaning back, off target, goal kick. Liverpool still lead by a 1-0 as we go to St Andrews, one of our featured games in League One. Tom Gale.
League leaders Birmingham 0, Rotherham 0. The hosts with the most possession and attempts on target. The latest, a free kick swung in, met by defender Ben Davies, but he could only shoot vertically. It's Birmingham 0, Rotherham 0.
The two teams behind Birmingham, Wickham and Wrexham, are both leading.
As mentioned, the fact that Semenyo is a really good player to watch when he's on the ball. However, if I was his manager, I'd ban him for touching the ball in his own third because he's giving it away so often, trying to dribble from those sort of areas. Just give him the ball in the last third, that'll do.
Here is Ouattara on the halfway line. Back to Adams. We've got about 60 seconds of normal time remaining here, with Liverpool still having a slender lead. Brooks on the right touchline, back towards Cook. Zabani will go further back towards Kepa. In midweek, when Liverpool lost to PSV, it was the first time in 24 games where Liverpool had scored first and actually lost a game of football. However, in the Premier League, when they've scored first, they've won all of the previous 14 this season. As here is Adams for Bournemouth. To Zabani. Up towards the halfway line he goes, and then Bournemouth slow and steady for the time being. Goal at Hull City, Naz Premji.
It's an equaliser. Hull City 1, Stoke City 1. New signing Ali Al-Hamadi from the left-hand side. Low drilled effort into the bottom corner. Hull City 1, Stoke City 1.
We'll see how much added on time we're going to play, Pat.
I would imagine it'd be a huge amount, just 1 or 2 little stoppages. There was that blood stoppage as well there. Just thinking of one player here, Cliver. He's been such form. We've hardly mentioned his name. Bournemouth need to get him into the game as well if they're going to get this back.
Kirkes is forward on that far side, the left. Comes to almost to a standstill. Semenyo, ball in field. 5 minutes of added on time, which we're now into. 5 minutes of stoppage time. Howson goes to Adams, gives it back to the young defender, and now with Cliver. Runs into Canate, gets a lucky ricochet, goes back in towards the path of Cliver, left-hand side. Semenyo back-pedalling, out of the penalty box go Bournemouth, but they still have the ball. Back with Cliver once again, but Alexander-Arnold and Salah have doubled up on him. Semenyo then from that left touchline towards Adams, 30 yards out from goal. Liverpool have every white shirt back doing their defensive duties, as Howson then will clip it across to this near side. Goal at St Andrews, Tom Gale.
Birmingham 0, Rotherham 1. Corner taken short, swung in by Dangour and met by the head of Sam Nombi. Birmingham 0, Rotherham 1.
Ouattara's done well. Out towards Kirkes, runs forward, edge of the area. Semenyo on the left for Bournemouth, pulls it back. Kluivert couldn't get there. Interception from Szoboszlai. Alexander-Arnold looks for the two central defenders, were faced by the prospect of both Salah and Diaz. Liverpool have got it back. Bit of room to run into for Szoboszlai. Robertson joins the attack on this near side, the left. Szoboszlai does a 360-degree turn, gives it to McAllister. Out towards Robertson. 10 yards in from the left touchline. The league leaders are still ahead in stoppage time.
Interesting there. There's a little chance of a break, just as you were explaining there. But when it didn't work, all the players at Liverpool just said, no, slow it down, calm it down, relax it, take control of the game. Just when you thought they were going to build it at pace, I fully understand that, but, you know, there's only one goal just now. Maybe they should have pushed a little bit quicker there, but you're right. Watching certainly that attack line of Diaz, just as the ball comes in, Diaz and Salah together. They're not the tallest, they're really effective.
Here is Zabani bringing the ball out of defence, out to Brooks. What would have been interesting with that, Pat, is that if they'd have made runs either side of the central defenders, but they were running in a central direction at both of them.
Exactly. But it was, as I said early on in the game, if they've got more than a man extra at the back, they just send one of their defenders into the midfield as if to say, we want to go man to man. And it's a delight to say. It's basically saying, I know we're against good players, but we trust our defenders. So far, except for one occasion.
0 Swindon Town 1 is the latest score in League 2. Liverpool are attacking. Gravenberch, right corner of the area. Gravenberch enters the box and he shoots, but it's a wayward effort off his left boot, well off target. That'll be a goal kick. Liverpool still lead. Everton, they're ahead. John Bennett, you've had another goal.
A third goal for Everton. Everton 3, Leicester City 0. It's Beto again, and yet again it's a low through ball which completely cuts through the Leicester City defence. Beto with the finish. Everton 3, Leicester City 0.
Well, if you look at the bottom of the table now, there is a 7-point gap between Leicester and, in fact, Tottenham now. Everton will go above Spurs in the league table, so Spurs dropping to 16th. But that bottom 4 now becoming isolated.
Well, it's extraordinary looking at Everton above Tottenham. They were looking as if it was going to be a battle all the way to the end of the season. They'll be going to get 3, but worrying times for Spurs.
Stoppage time then here on 5 Live in the World Service. Swansea City 0, Coventry City 2 is now a latest score, so Coventry have got a second there against the Swansea side. 5 without a win coming into that game at the Liberty Stadium today. Liverpool lead by a goal to 0. Konate right at the centre circle. His right-footed ball finds Salah, comes to a standstill, passes the ball infield then to Alexander-Arnold at a walking pace. Alexander-Arnold's ball goes straight towards Sabani. He gives it away though towards Szoboszlai. Groans from the Bournemouth supporters. Gravenberch able to turn, passes the ball left-footed out towards Salah, just in from the right, level with the penalty area. Salah waits again, has the chance to put his foot on the ball, goes down the right side of the area. McAllister's first time cross blocked, out for a Liverpool throw. The
game management's been absolutely phenomenal in the last 5 minutes or so from Liverpool. In a period of time there, they were getting, it was quite frenetic, and that's the way Bournemouth wanted it to be. But just after that little break they had, just about on 45 minutes, the Liverpool players almost looked at each other and said, no, control, hold what we've got, get in 1-0 up, and just be comfortable on it. And that is players who understand the game, players who understand each other and what is needed at particular times in each game.
Alexander-Arnold, the voice of Pat Nevin on BBC Radio 5 Live, with that Mo Salah penalty still separating the two sides. Van Dijk. Robertson gets it back from Gakpo on this left-hand side. Just bubbled up a little bit for him. And in fact, there was a use of the hand there. Be a free kick to Bournemouth.
The referee got that one right, even though he didn't see it, guessed it, but kind of looked at what the reaction of the both players, and it was a handball. Very little time now, if any, to take this free kick from deep from Kepa.
So a lot of the supporters in this little stadium are heading now to the concourses for some half-time refreshment as Darren England blows his half-time whistle. Liverpool are leading by a goal to 0, but certainly Bournemouth have caused the league leaders some problems.
They have, and certainly that shot off the post. They've had the ball in the net, millimetres offside when the break down the left-hand side. Got to say, it was great play from Van Dijk. But then again, you can say great play from Van Dijk every 2 or 3 minutes in any game you watch. He has been extra special today, but a really, really good game, really open game, exciting, chances either side, played at a good pace. My favourite thing about it, you absolutely cannot read it from here on, and it could go either way. But Liverpool, they've just got a habit of doing enough, and at the moment, that's exactly what they are doing.
So Mo Salah's penalty is the difference between the two sides. It's Bournemouth 0, Liverpool 1.
Cracking game at Murrayfield that you can listen to on Sports Extra, watch on BBC One. They're in for a tense last 10 minutes or so. Jamie Lyle.
Oh boy, is it frenetic here, Mark. Scotland 31, Italy 19. Remember, we were locked at 19 points apiece after Italy roared back from the concession of 3 early tries. They scored again before Scotland hit them with a double whammy. Hugh Jones finishing off 2 fabulous team moves. He has a hat-trick. Scotland have 5. Italy just now pounding furiously at the Scottish door. They've just spilled one over the home try line. They need to score twice to pull this game from the fire. They trail by 12 points. 31-19 the score here with 7 minutes left. What a finale in Edinburgh.
Let's go back to the Premier League, where, remember, this lunchtime it finished Nottingham Forest 7, Brighton 0 to St James's Park. Maz Faruqi.
And Newcastle lead at half-time, but this was one that had been quite tight, quite even. We needed a moment of quality to spark it into life, and Anthony Gordon provided, picking up the ball, running at pace down the left, cut back into the area. Jacob Murphy was there to pounce. The ball may have taken a slight deflection on its way to him. Before that, Sandro Tonali so close to a goal minutes earlier, but a shot from distance, which he absolutely leathered, hammered the Fulham goal frame. Fulham grew in confidence into the half, but they're yet to create a shot on target. Newcastle 1, Fulham 0.
David Moyes has sparked Everton into life. Crikey, John Bennett.
Incredible. Everton 3, Leicester City 0. Everton were struggling to score goals before Moyes returned. Now they're scoring them after 10 seconds. 10.18 is the new official time for Abdoulaye Doucouré's opener. Play back to keeper Jordan Pickford from kick-off. Long ball. Doucouré ran through to score the 4th fastest goal in Premier League history. Minutes later, Beto scored with a fine low finish, and he scored again just before half-time. Awful defending from Leicester, who haven't really recovered from that early goal. Everton 3, Leicester City 0.
To the bottom 2 at Portman Road, Chris Coles.
Ipswich 1, Southampton 1. A familiar story for Southampton. Yet another game they've scored the first goal, and yet another game a defensive lapse has cost them. Joe Aribo had given them the lead. Left foot volley looked unthreatening, and it went through Muric tamely. He was perhaps unsighted, but he really should have saved it. Ipswich level through Liam Delap. Southampton loose in midfield. Delap touches it beyond the last man. Composed finish into the corner beyond Aaron Ramsdale. Ipswich 1, Southampton 1.
Earlier, Oxford 1, 9-man Bristol City 1 in the Championship. Plymouth 2, West Brom 1, and 10-man Watford 0, Norwich 1. As far as the 3 o'clocks are concerned, going very well for the leaders at Ellen Road. Lee Blakeman.
Leeds 2, Cardiff 0. Leeds have been absolutely brilliant. Aronson got the first after good work from Dan James in the build-up. James assisted the second, 7 minutes later too, setting off disallowed for offside. And in truth, Leeds could have 4 or 5. Half-time, Leeds 2, Cardiff 0.
Derby Sheffield United next, Pat Murphy.
It's 0-0, it's cagey, it's tense. Sheffield United have wasted some good chances, but the moment that summed up this half, Adams for Derby, a minute to go to half-time. Salverson in a perfect position to see, having slipped his marker, he overhit the pass, and his dismay was palpable. Derby 0, Sheffield United 0.
Goalless at Fratton Park as well, Hamish Marshall.
Yeah, between Portsmouth and Burnley, so it's now more than 11 hours since Burnley conceded, but they are losing a bit of ground on leaders' leads. Josh Murphy and Matt Ritchie came closest to ending that clean sheet record. At the other end, Lyle Foster and Jayden Anthony were denied by Pompey keeper Nicholas Schmidt.
Elsewhere in the Championship, Hull 1, Stoke 1. Millwall lead QPR by 2-1. Aaron Connolly and Luke Cundle with the Millwall goals. Alfie Lloyd getting the one for QPR. And Alfie Doughty goal is the difference between the two sides at Hillsborough. It's Sheffield Wednesday 0, Luton 1. And the former Everton striker Ellis Sims got the first of Coventry's 2 this afternoon at Swansea. Brandon Thomas Asante got the other. Swansea 0, Coventry 2 at the break. In the early games in League 1, Barnsley 0, Burton 0. Stevenage 4, Exeter 1. Surprise at St Andrews at the break. Tom Gale.
Birmingham 0, Rotherham 1. Smash and grab stuff this from Steve Evans' side. Birmingham keeper Ryan Alsop yet to make a save and helpless to prevent Sam Nombe's header from a short corner. At the other end, 2 remarkable stops from visiting Dylan Phillips, best of which denied 14-goal man Jay Stansfield, who did a 180 turn in the box, hammered the shot which came off Phillips' forearm. At the break, Birmingham 0, Rotherham 1.
Means as things stand, Wickham are going top because Mark Webber.
It's Cambridge United 0, Wycombe Wanderers 1, and yes, a side with a stand-in manager atop of League One. Wycombe's rise to challenge for the elite is extraordinary, bearing in mind the teams around them with the budgets they've got. But add the fact that they haven't had a manager technically for 3 weeks, it's even better, isn't it? Cameron Humphreys picked up the goal, stuffed clearance, he was on the rebound 35 minutes in to make it Cambridge United 0, Wycombe Wanderers 1.
And third place Wrexham lead at the break as well. Emily Herbert.
Wrexham ahead by a goal to nil at the break. A dream start for the visitors. Just 2 minutes in, a low squared ball from the right found Matthew James on the edge of the box, who fired it home. Debutants Jay Rodriguez and Sam Smith both squandered one-on-one chances, while relegation threatened Crawley have had their moments but look a little stunned. Half-time, Crawley 0, Wrexham 1.
Elsewhere in League 1, Blackpool 0, Charlton 0, Leyton Orient 0, Stockport 1. Stockport's goal coming from Carl Wootton. That's his 9th of the season. They'll go for their 4th straight win in the league at Dave Challoner's side. Kevin Nolan's Northampton lead Huddersfield 2-0 at the break. Goalless between Reading and Bolton. Shrewsbury are down to 10 and trail at home to Mansfield. Will Evans with his 11th of the season, the only goal in that game. And Wigan lead Lincoln by a goal to nil. In League 2 earlier, Cheltenham 1, Chesterfield 0. Notts County went into second with a 2-1 win at Gillingham, and the leaders Walsall at 3 o'clock are on course for their 3rd straight defeat. Adam Cottier.
That's because they trail at home to Salford by 1-0. Cole Stockton in the 4th minute, his 10th of the season for Salford. A neat finish, side-footed, after Hakib Adelakan's right-wing cross. Adelakan curled narrowly wide at the end of the first half. It nearly got worse for Walsall, who hit the post through Ethan Wheatley, making his home debut on loan from Manchester United. Walsall 0, Salford 1.
AFC Wimbledon lead Bradford by 1-0. They're undefeated in their last 6 at Johnny Jackson's side. Goalless between Bromley and Grimsby. Carlisle next to bottom, trail at the break at home to Swindon by 1-0. Doncaster lead MK Dons by 1-0. Harrogate 1, Crewe 0. Josh March with his 5th of the season, the difference between the two sides there. Morecambe 1, Fleetwood 1, Newport 0, Barrow 0. Jayden Stockley's 7th of the season, the difference between Port Vale and Accrington at the break, but Port Vale are down to 10 in that game as well. Tom Sang sent off, but they lead by 1-0. Colchester are 2-0 up at Tranmere. Lyle Taylor's got both of those, 12 for the season for him. In the National League this afternoon, not as many games because it's also FA Trophy weekend, but in the National League, goalless between AFC Fylde and Oldham and Braintree and Hartlepool. Halifax are a goal up on Ebbsfleet. Barnet lead 1-0 at Tamworth. Wealdstone 1, Solihull Moors 1, and York City 1, Dagenham and Redbridge 0. In the FA Trophy, Aldershot 0, Boreham Wood 0, Altrincham 0, Eastleigh 0, Gainsborough 0, Woking 1, Kidderminster 0, Sutton 0, Oxford City a goal up on Forest Green Rovers, Southend 0, Sittingbourne 0, goalless between Spennymoor and Boston United, Rochdale are 2-0 up at Worthing. In the Scottish Premiership, Celtic and Rangers both play tomorrow. Dundee United in third, kick off at 5:45 at Kilmarnock. So in the 3 o'clocks, Dundee 0, Hearts 2, Hibs 1, Aberdeen 0, and St Mirren 0. Bottom of the table, St Johnstone 0. In the Championship, Airdrieonians 1, Queen's Park 0, Dunfermline 0, Wraith 1, Hull 0, Morton 1. In League 1, Cove Rangers 0, the leaders Arbroath 1, Dumbarton 1, Alloa 0, Inverness 1, Queen of the South 0, Kelty Hearts 1, Annan 0, and Montrose 0, Stenhousemuir 1. In League 2, Bonnyrigg Rose 2, Clyde 0, Edinburgh City 2, Stirling 1. Leaders East Fife a goal down at the break at Elgin. Peterhead are 2-0 up on Forfar, and it's Stranraer 1, Spartans 0. There's about 45 seconds left at Murrayfield. Scotland 31. It's entertaining afternoon's racing at Leopardstown. John Hunt.
And in the last few moments, Mark, trainer Willie Mullins has just acclaimed Galopin des Champs as the best chaser he's ever trained. That after his 4 3/4 length victory in this afternoon's Irish Gold Cup, maintaining a perfect record at Leopardstown, and now, of course, heading to the Cheltenham Festival, where he will attempt to match best mate's achievement at the beginning of the century by winning a 3rd Cheltenham Gold Cup as well. Pretty good day for Mullins. Other big race winners that were impressive for him today included Magborough in the Arkle Chase. He won by 9 lengths, and Final Demand looked something very special when winning the Novice Hurdle by 12 lengths as well. Closer to home at Sandown Park this afternoon, Scilly Isles Novice Chase was won by handstands. A big race victory there for trainer Ben Pauling and jockey Ben Jones.
And don't forget, when we get to the Cheltenham Festival, which I think is around 5 weeks away, full coverage across 5 Live and Sports Extra. 4:01, Jill McKenzie has the news.
The voice of the UK.
And the home of the Six Nations.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
3 Israeli hostages have been released by Hamas in exchange for 183 Palestinian prisoners who are held by Israel. It's the latest stage of the Gaza ceasefire deal agreed last month. The body of a second woman's been found during the search for 2 sisters who went missing in Aberdeen. Henrietta and Eliza Hootsie were last seen near the River Dee on the 7th of January. The US government says it'll impose tariffs on America's 3 biggest trading partners today. That's Mexico, China and Canada. President Trump's also suggested similar measures are planned for the European Union. And Barclays customers are facing a second day of problems because of an IT glitch. Some people are locked out of their accounts, others' balances are wrong. Barclays Bank says it is working on a fix and that no customer will be left out of pocket.
Morning, everyone. Welcome to Five Live Breakfast.
There was a guy I was working with said, do you not do your radio show anymore? I was like, I've only been off a couple of days.
Five Live Breakfast.
With Rachel Burden and Rick Edwards.
This is the moment you've all been waiting for.
That's right, it's the up-down quiz.
Today's quiz is all about the number of players on a team. Aussie rules football. Is that up or down?
Believe it or not, I used to play for Great Britain.
What?
It's a fix. You are probably sat at home thinking, well, that was brilliant.
Five Live Breakfast.
Back Monday from 6.
Listen on BBC Sounds. This is Five Live Sport.
With Mark Chapman.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
Good test for Scotland this afternoon. Final whistle has gone at Murrayfield. Jamie Lyle.
Yeah, a match leading with Scottish anxiety for long periods here, Mark, but in the end a solid win for Gregor Townsend's side. They raced into that early 3-try lead before Italy hauled them back level at 19 points apiece going into the final quarter. But 2 tries from Hugh Jones, the second completing the centre's hat-trick, pulled the home team clear. Some dicey moments at the end as Italy pounded away in search of a second comeback, but Scotland's defence holding firm on their own line to ensure they start their Six Nations campaign with a bonus point victory. The bonus point win they crave. The full-time score at Murrayfield, Scotland 31, Italy 19.
So both home teams have won so far on the opening weekend of the men's Six Nations. Will it be a full house, Chris Jones?
Well, it's dry and mild at the Aviva Mark. Perfect conditions as the England and Ireland players go through their light warm-ups. It might be weekend one, but this feels, doesn't it? A defining game for both nations already. A win for Ireland. They'll be up and running in this pursuit of an historic hat-trick. But if England can pull off something special, the tournament opens up for them with 3 home games in a row. Such a fascinating contest. Questions linger around both these teams. Ireland stuttered in the autumn. They've got a new head coach and rookie 10. England need to shore up their defence, while throughout last year they simply couldn't finish games off. They can't afford to keep losing tight ones. No better time to put that right than this evening in Dublin. We're underway in 40.
Very quickly, Chris, because I asked Tommy Bowe this earlier. When did it start becoming the fashion for the Lions head coach to step away from the Six Nations? He thought it might have been Clive Woodward, but I can't...
Well, Clive Woodward was an England boss in 05. Yeah, so he left the England job in 04. Woodward wasn't the Lions boss, the England boss in 05. McGeechan wasn't in charge of his side in 09, so it was not relevant for Woodward or McGeechan in 05 and 09, and so was Gatlin in 13.
Right. Okay.
And 17, yeah.
Good, thank you. Glad we cleared that up.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Chris Jones, Matt Dawson, Tommy Bowe, your commentary team in Dublin. It will start on Sports Extra, I would imagine, but then it will be straight here on 5 Live at the conclusion of the game at the Vitality. In the Premier League then, today earlier, Forest 7, Brighton 0 at 3 o'clock. 3 of the games are tight. The one at Goodison isn't. Everton lead Leicester 3-0. But at Portman Road, Ipswich 1, Southampton 1. At St James's, Newcastle 1, Fulham 0. And at Bournemouth, the league leaders lead by a goal to 0. Back to Pat and Ian.
Thanks, Mark. The 2 teams made a change. So Bournemouth, in their red and black striped shirts and black shorts, have Kepa in goal. Back 4 of Cook, Howson, Zabani and Kirkes. A midfield of Adams and Christie with Brooks, Kluivert, Semenyo and Ouattara. Liverpool, who lead by a goal to 0, that Salah penalty. White shirts, black shorts, playing from left to right in this second half. Alisson in goal, Alexander-Arnold, Konate, Van Dijk and Robertson, McAllister, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, Salah, Diaz and Gakpo. Pat Nevin.
It's interesting to see both teams warming up. You know, they come out for a second half on a chilly day and they get the warm-up coach to get them a few zippy runs. And I watched Liverpool doing it there. And 10 of the players done zippy runs and Salah went, yeah, all right. Just walk about. He knows when he needs to run.
Swindon Town have got a second goal at the start of the second half at Brunton Park. Carlisle United 0, Swindon Town 2 is the latest score in League 2. The referee, Darren England, has a look at his watch, blows the whistle, and the game restarts here at the Vitality Stadium, live on BBC Radio 5 Live in the World Service. And Cook makes a storming run straight away. And now out towards Brooks. They started strongly in the first half. Down the left, in comes the cross, and the looping header just drifts wide. Talk about a front foot approach.
John mentioned early on the understanding or lack of it sometimes between the two strikers there, Ouattara and Kluivert, taking each other's positions up. Well, they both went for the same ball there, and I think they got in each other's way to some degree. It was a decent chance. In fact, they absolutely got in each other's way. In the end, Kluivert should have left it. Zuatara was the man to take it, couldn't get it on target, but good start, I should say.
So Liverpool 1-0 up. Ipswich 1, Southampton 1, Newcastle 1-0 against Fulham, Everton 3 goals to the good against Leicester City. Diaz hits it early, cut out very well by Kirkes, with the loose ball picked up by Diaz. Gakpo now just put up a little bit by Brooks. My eyes were just diverted a little bit because Szoboszlai had stayed on the floor and seemed to have picked up an injury to his right leg. Semenyo, though, will go on to that ball out towards that right-hand side, keeps the ball in play, back towards Cook, infield to Brooks, midway through the Liverpool half, out towards the right. Semenyo now comes in, his cross takes a deflection, falls towards Kluivert, hits it on the volley, and struck the back of Konate, and Liverpool get the ball away.
Done everything right there, Kluivert. Ball comes over and he keeps it on target, keeps it down, it's on the volley. Everything he's hit recently has gone in. That's one of the few ones that haven't gone in there, but he did everything right. Another very good chance for Bournemouth.
Hit it sweetly as well, but Konate, right place, right time. Goal at Derby, Pat Murphy.
It's gone to Sheffield United and it's been scored by Brereton Diaz. Across from Cannon, low cross, nobody picked it up, and there he was at the far post. Derby 0, Sheffield United 1.
Pressure then on Burnley in the Championship with the top two leading. Leeds United 2-0 up at home to Cardiff City. And Sheffield United there taking the lead against Derby, who in the relegation zone have lost their last 6 in the Championship. Burnley currently drawing away at Portsmouth at Fratton Park. Here we are a little bit further down the south coast. It's Bournemouth 0, Liverpool 1. We're early in the second half. Gravenberch towards McAllister, gets away from Christie and now starts to accelerate, snapping away at the heels. Christie pulling back at McAllister. Got to be a clear yellow card. Indeed it is.
Yeah, he'd been pulling for quite some time. There's a lot of movements, a lot happening in that midfield there, but Liverpool keep on trying to run away from that. Deserved the yellow card before that. Christie's got one now.
Tranmere Rovers have got a goal back. Tranmere 1, Colchester United 2. Goal at Ellen Road, Lee Blakeman.
Leeds 3, Cardiff 0. Firpo with the cross. James running in to finish at the back post. 2 assists and now a goal for Dan James. Leeds 3, Cardiff 0.
3 minutes into the second half. No other goals to tell you about elsewhere around the country at the moment. Van Dijk waits to take this free kick for Liverpool on this grey, chilly afternoon on the south coast. Forward of the centre circle, he goes square. Konate just over the halfway line, plays it towards Salah. Kirkes with the interception. Bournemouth win the ball back. Kirkes over the halfway line, budged off the ball by Gravenberch. He's going to get a yellow, and all of a sudden Gravenberch now has been booked.
A little bit harsh on him there, a tiny bit of a nudge. It's not as if it's a drag back, a pull back, just a little bit of a nudge. I think that's quite a harsh yellow card, that one, whereas the Christie one was a definite yellow card.
Bournemouth then have this free kick, not quite the midway point of the first half, 10-12 yards in from the left touchline, trailing by a goal to 0. Brooks with both arms aloft. Kluivert is also looking to potentially take it. Now Kluivert will run away, and all of a sudden he gives Salah something to think about, because as he's on this near left touchline, the ball is slid in towards Kluivert. He could get round the back. Meanwhile, Brooks still has his arms held aloft, waiting to take the free kick. The line is outside the D of the penalty area for the Liverpool defence. Howson and Szoboszlai getting a talking to from referee Darren England. Lengthy wait for this free kick. Once again, arms raised by Brooks. Kluivert still waits, but it's chipped in. Semenyo, nobody's gone with Semenyo. And Ouattara made the run. Liverpool partially get the ball away. Semenyo, though, has it with the ball at his feet. Left side of the area, back towards Brooks. Brooks plays it in short. Christie, nice turn, threads it through. Semenyo, good save by Alisson. Quickly off his goal line.
What a phenomenal goal that would have been there. The intelligence of play and the unusual ideas that they set there. Balls in unusual places there. Play through to Semenyo. You've got to say, well done, Alisson, coming out and closing the angle. But the little neat passes and understanding between the Bournemouth players. Super play, 3 good chances.
In comes the corner, and that had Alisson reaching for his near post, got 2 hands on it, punched it away, back for where it came from on this near side, the Bournemouth left. Semenyo might have overhit that, and indeed he's lost the ball 25 yards from the Liverpool goal. But then Kirkes again, alert as ever to head the ball forward. Strong looping header, couple of headers away by the Liverpool defence, bouncing ball, and Szoboszlai then gives away a free kick. And Bournemouth enjoying this spell at this stage. St James's Park, Masfarouki.
With the first two shots on target of the match, both from Smith Rowe, forcing decent saves from Dubravka at the start of the second half, but it's still Newcastle 1, Fulham 0. One of Bill Foley's sides are behind here. Another one of his have increased their lead at Easter Road. Hibs 2, Aberdeen 0. Morecambe 2, Fleetwood 1 is the latest score in League 2, and you're up to date with the goals as they go in. In fact, Blackpool 0, Charlton 1 is another latest score. Adams with a free kick to Kirkes, goes slightly behind the Hungarian international and out for a goal kick. Pat.
It's been a brilliant start to the second half, hasn't it? The first 5 or 6 minutes of the second half for Bournemouth. I think you can call that 3 very, very decent prisoners there. He's smiling away because he knows his team is playing very, very well just now. They're creating chances. The problem is against Liverpool. He made a great chance in the first half, and as soon as that happened, Liverpool broke and scored. You've got to take your chances when you play against Liverpool.
Here is Salah picking up the ball and running away from Christie, just inside his own half. Semenyo tracking him, forces Salah back. A little bit of afters between the two there, only slightly. McAllister hits it towards Gravenberch. Kirkes again, so sharp to step forward out of defence. Very impressive play by the left back. Then towards Kluivert, skips away from one challenge, runs into Gravenberch, who with a caught on his left ankle, fouled by Semenyo. That'll be a free kick to Liverpool. They might just wish to slow the game down.
Yeah, they did that at the end of the first half. I was talking about earlier, game management, understanding when the pressure was building up a little bit, and they slowed it down. And right now, as I say, these first 5 or 6 minutes of the second half, the pressure has built up from Bournemouth. The pace has been very, very good from Bournemouth. They've created those 3 chances. So yeah, I think that's what Liverpool try and do. Calm it down, maybe get Van Dijk on the ball a few times and try and take the sting out of this a little bit.
Accrington have equalised against the 10 men of Port Vale. Port Vale 1, Accrington Stanley 1, and Blackpool 0, Charlton Athletic 2 is a latest score in League 1, and Hearts have got a 3rd goal at Dens Park. Dundee 0, Hearts 3 is the latest score in the Scottish Premiership. 8 minutes into the second half, BBC Radio 5 Live. All the build-up to Ireland. England is now on Sports Extra for that game, which will get underway at the Aviva Stadium at 4:45. The start of the rugby will be on Sports Extra, and then as soon as this game finishes, we will cross there immediately. No sports report as McAllister is shown a yellow card.
Well, I hate to use the phrase, but that's as clever a yellow card as you'll see. He was completely done there, and you know, there's no way anyone else is going to get back, but because it was so deep. Away back in their own half, actually just inside the opposition half. McAllister just put his body in the way. It's a block, it's a yellow card, but it's worth it for Liverpool.
Easy one for Darren England. Howson shows almost too much to McAllister, but does hoist it downfield, does Howson. And then Kirkes, faced up by Alexander Arnold, forward, attacking the Steve Fletcher stand away towards our left. That's the north stand here at the Vitality Stadium. Ball by Howson into the feet of Ouattara. Comes back towards Christie, finds Semenyo, urged on by their manager, Irola. Semenyo down the right-hand side, fires it in low, cleared, comes towards Christie, edge of the area, has to go a long way around to retrieve it. And then Diaz, almost pulled back there by Howson, but Diaz still comes forward, then runs straight into Adams. And the referee has given a free kick to Liverpool. Goal at St Andrews, Tom Gale.
Birmingham 1, Rotherham 1. The hosts getting themselves level. Ball swung in, met by the head of Lyndon Dykes and fell to the boot of now 15 goal in the season, Jay Stansfield, who flicked it home. Birmingham 1, Rotherham 1.
Doncaster 1, MK Dons 1, Shrewsbury 1, Mansfield 1. Northampton now lead Huddersfield by 3-0 and 1-1 as we've just heard at St Andrews.
Just a little bit of confusion now. Who's getting the yellow card? Howson get the yellow card for the drag back just beforehand. And you know what? Well done, referee. Allowed the play to go on, allowed the chance to develop, nothing happened, and dragged it back, gave a free kick, and correctly gave Howson the yellow card.
He was booed off at half-time by the Bournemouth supporters as Salah held a little bit there by Kirkes. manages to wriggle free. Howson comes across, puts it out of play for a throw. Seems to have got the decisions right, though, on the whole, Darren England.
I'm struggling to see any that he's got particularly wrong. And when he wasn't sure, he waited for the VAR to come and give him a little hand. And it's going to work well, okay, this week.
Crewe have equalised at Harrogate. Harrogate 1, Crewe 1. Port Vale down to 10 men are back in front, leading Accrington Stanley by 2-1. Liverpool lead by 1-0. Everton 3, Leicester City 0. Ipswich Town 1, Southampton 1. Newcastle United still lead Fulham by 1-0. Alexander-Arnold with a cross, right-hand side, it's high, it's curling, and in the end, it's headed behind by Cook, and it'll be a corner kick to Liverpool, far side the left.
They're always going to get a little bit of a break, a little bit of time, Liverpool. They've not really panicked in any way. Well, I say that Liverpool haven't looked panicked. Slot is the calmest man in this entire stadium. He just stands there calmly, chatting away. He looks as if he believes in this team, and that seems to filter through to his players, doesn't it?
Sheffield Wednesday 1, Luton Town 1 is now a latest score in the Championship. So Wednesday have equalised. Morecambe lead Fleetwood by 3-1. Alexander-Arnold in front of the travelling support on that far side with the corner kick for Liverpool. Plays it towards the left corner of the box. Szoboszlai able to control it. Szoboszlai sees an opening and shoots, and it's repelled by the head of Ouattara and knocked high up in the air. Bouncing ball. Alexander-Arnold
mostly missed Brooks there when he's gone through. Well done, referee. Again, they were shouting to get him sent off for a second yellow card. I think the referee got it right again.
Common sense from the referee. McAllister, though, will have to be careful. Howson off the chest on the halfway line, on the half volley, hits it downfield in the air. Ouattara and Kluivert both give chase. It runs away from him. You just saying about Arne Slot chatting. I've got to say, on the way to the ground today, I listened to Arne Slot in conversation with Gary Lineker. It's available on the 5 Live Football daily feed. You can also watch it, I think, on the BBC iPlayer. So much insight, and just a really enjoyable conversation between Gary Lineker and Arne Slot, the Liverpool manager, and how he's adapted to life on Merseyside.
I look forward to listening to that.
There is also activity on the Liverpool bench. Bournemouth are attacking. Cross from Ouattara on the right. They're appealing for handball there, the crowd. It was shielded away by the back of Alexander-Arnold from our vision, our line of view here, as Gravenberch tries to come forward. Excellent footwork, nice little spin inside. Diaz now takes it over. The white shirts of Liverpool still leading by 1-0. But this game still has a lot to offer, with over half an hour remaining here on 5 Live in the World Service. No,
I think we're quite comfortable that the man that will be coming off will be McAllister, because he gets sent off if he doesn't come off.
Here is Liverpool attacking with Salah, the goal scorer. Enters the penalty area right-hand side. Comes out towards Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai cuts it back. McAllister hits it first time. Right-footed, curling, out for a goal kick. Liverpool still lead by 1-0. Newcastle were leading 1-0. There's been another goal. Mas Farouki.
Fulham have equalised, and what a goal it was in a counter-attack at pace. The length of the field here at St James's Park. Finished by Raul Jimenez. Newcastle 1, Fulham 1.
We will be at St James's Park, incidentally, on Wednesday, because during the week, the League Cup semi-final second legs will be played. St James's Park on Wednesday night, and then on Thursday evening we'll be live at Anfield. Liverpool against Tottenham Hotspur. Zabani heads the ball up in there to Salah, who hits it first time, left-footed and off target. It goes for a goal kick. Team news from Molineux. Conor McNamara.
Vitor Pereira had named unchanged Wolves teams for each of the last 2 games, but forced into making 3 changes today. Totti Gomez back in defence, Bellegarde to the midfield, and Guedes joined the attack. 2 changes from Villa for the win over Celtic. McGinn is back in the midfield. Andres Garcia starts in defence.
That was a blatant push by Alexander-Arnold, but in fact offside for Semenyo anyway, so a free kick to Liverpool. Just a reminder, incidentally, just for a little bit of housekeeping and signposting, Wolves-Aston Villa, because of the rugby on 5 Live, Wolves-Aston Villa, the first half will be on Sports Extra, and then once the rugby finishes, you will hear Wolves-Aston Villa on BBC Radio 5 Live, and then at around 7:30 till 9, Chris Sutton and Robbie Savage will be taking your calls on 606 08085 909 693. Update from Portland Road, Chris Coles.
Ipswich 1, Southampton 1. Ipswich continue to carry the greater threat without creating anything too meaningful. A Jens Cajuste drive well over the bar, the closest they've come. Ipswich 1, Southampton 1.
Liverpool have made a change. No surprise to see McAllister coming off, and Curtis Jones, who turned 24 on Thursday, is on.
He had only 1 foul left and he was getting sent off, so well done Arne Slot for making sure that that didn't happen there. Bournemouth fans are furious. They thought he should have been sent off beforehand. I think that would have been beyond harsh. Had he been sent off for what was a genuine attempt at the ball that just missed and didn't hurt the opponent in any way.
Tranmere Rovers 1, Colchester United 3 is the latest score in League 2. Robertson coming forward for Liverpool through the centre circle, finds Gravenberg, who's had such an excellent season for Liverpool under Arne Slot. Here is Mo Salah dancing around the ball. Kirkes not full, shifts it inside. Szoboszlai edge of the area. Liverpool attacking from left to right. Szoboszlai makes a run into the right side of the area, back towards Salah. Salah close control, looking for an opportunity, turns, still the ball, gets it towards Diaz. Diaz tees up Jones. Jones tries to slide it, comes blocked back to Jones. Now he tees up Alexander-Arnold, blasts it, blocked. But then he's caught in possession by Curtis Jones and Liverpool get it back.
You know, it's one of those moments you think, oh, great break now for Bournemouth.
Referee pulls it back. It'll be a free kick to Liverpool, much to the annoyance of the home support. We'll get an update from Everton. John Bennett.
Leicester City 0. Beto fancies a hat-trick here. He had a shot from a tight angle saved. Akoli and Daka about to come on for Leicester, who are showing no signs of getting a comeback. Everton 3, Leicester 0.
Another goal at Ellen Road. Lee Blakeman.
Penalty scored by Joel Pirro. James fouled in the box by O'Dowda, and that will wrap this game up. Leeds 4, Cardiff 0.
They're saying you're not fit to referee, but correct me if I'm wrong, that was another correct decision from the referee.
It was the correct decision for the referee. And I have to admit, when I first saw it, I didn't think he got it right. Right, he nailed it, so spot on, got it right again. But it just shows that there's still a lot left in this game, because had they got that break there, Bournemouth, they were away 2 against 1.
Shrewsbury 2, Mansfield 1 is the latest score in League 1.
One very noticeable thing that Liverpool have done different in this second half, the problems on the left-hand side, Bournemouth's left-hand side in the first half are very, very obvious. Less of that now, because Gravenberg has come over, Szoboszlai has come over to the right-hand side a lot more. It's given a lot of cover for Trent Alexander-Arnold. There's no space, or very little space, on the left-hand side that Bournemouth are attacking, and that wasn't in the case in the first half. Really clever, the management, to change that.
Free kick then for Liverpool on this near side, playing from left to right. Just under 30 yards out from goal. Alexander-Arnold sweeps it in, rides up. Robertson couldn't get there. Flick away by Brooks. Kirkes caught though by Robertson, and he plays it back towards Gravenberg. And Gravenberg now can come forward for the white shirts, out towards Jones. Wycombe Wanderers have had Sonny, who are only leading at Cambridge United by a goal to 0. Remember, Birmingham City, the leaders, 1-1 at home to Rotherham. Wrexham still leading through that early goal at Crawley Town. That's at the top. Carlisle United, incidentally, have had Jordan Jones sent off as well. So Carlisle United, who are 2-0 down at home, are now down to 10 men. BBC Radio 5 Live, the World Service, 64 minutes played. Also available on the BBC Sounds app. But this game could still go either way. Ball played forward towards Kluivert. Left back, tied it up by Van Dijk, and then volleyed away by Allison as we go back to Lee Blakeman to hear of another goal.
Leeds have just shot into the bottom corner to make it Leeds 5, Cardiff 0.
Cross comes in from the right-hand side. That was a sturdy challenge, a robust challenge by Van Dijk on Ouattara. Ouattara has stayed down.
I would suggest that's possibly the one big mistake that the referee's made. I think he knows he's not sure about it himself, because he stopped it playing. He's given Ouattara a chance to be looked at. But, you know, robust challenges happen now and again. But the ball had long gone, and Van Dijk, it's not a kick. He's laid his shoulder and his body into Ouattara, and what's the phrase? Let him know he's there.
He's been shown a yellow card by Darren England. 65 minutes play. Where we're going to go next on 5 Live. Tavernier is going to be coming on. It's Cambridge for news of that sending off. Mark Webber.
We're still Cambridge United 0, Wycombe Wanderers 1, but Wycombe's Sonny Bradley has been sent off. There was a penalty for Cambridge United's Jock Stokes. It was saved. Cambridge United 0, Wycombe Wanderers 1.
So Brooks is the player coming off for Bournemouth, and Marcus Tavernier comes on. He returned against Nottingham Forest after missing 8 matches. He'd been out since early December, had Tavernier. So he comes on. We're approaching the midway point of the second half, and Liverpool still lead by a goal to 0. Everton 3, Leicester 0. Ipswich 1, Southampton 1. Newcastle pegged back by Fulham. 1-1 at St James's Park. Wolves, Aston Villa, a 5:30 commentary. We'll have news of that with commentary on Sports Extra and then 5 Live. But the rugby will be Where are we now? Underway in just over a quarter of an hour's time. And the start of it, you'll hear that on Sports Extra and then here on 5 Live.
I think I'll be very, very happy that he's able to make some changes. Limitations in what he's been able to do recently, but 1 or 2 players beginning to come back now, which should give him a little bit of freshness.
Here is Kirkes, likes to get forward on the left-hand side. Kirkes with a beauty cross from the left, headed away by Robertson, tucked in. Helped further away by Gakpo, picked up by Szoboszlai, looks for the early ball, up towards Diaz. Controls it, over the halfway line, stepping out of defence was Howson. Keeps it in play, did well. Kirkes controls it, urged on by Irola once more. Ouattara is ahead of him, tries to slide it through towards Tavernier. Robertson again had to be alert, covering well from left back.
Brilliant from Robertson there. He's under massive pressure. Had to tackle with his right foot. Doesn't love doing that, but he managed to do that, got in the way there. But a little bit liveliness brought on that right-hand side there for Bournemouth. A little bit, they generally don't go away quickly, so a lot of stress on a lot of the players just now. Although the Liverpool players did get a little bit of a break, didn't they? Not many of them played during the week there, but a lot of stresses at this time of the year.
On a slot, just having a word with Luis Diaz. Alexander-Arnold still getting treatment. When I mentioned that stat in the first half, incidentally, of Liverpool scoring first, they've won every of the 14 games when it's happened in the Premier League. They're actually unbeaten in 42 games in the Premier League when scoring first since playing Manchester City in April 2023. Let's get an update from Birmingham Rotherham. Tom Gale.
Birmingham 1, Rotherham 1. The hosts dropping down to second on goal difference, and they're going all out for a win. Current top 2, 26 goals between them in all competitions. Jay Stansfield who equalised, and Alfie Mays come off the bench. It's Birmingham 1, Rotherham 1.
Dundee 0, Hearts 4. Doncaster Rovers 2, MK Dons 1, Bromley 0, Grimsby Town 2. Our latest scores elsewhere around the country. And they're taking no chances with Trent Alexander-Arnold. Conor Bradley is going to come on to replace him. Whether that would be a potential concern ahead of that Tottenham League Cup semi-final second leg, you'll hear live here on Thursday night on 5 Live. And Darwin Núñez is going to be coming on as well, so a double change. Cody Gakpo is the player who is going to be going off. So Núñez is also on the field. Pat.
I mean, it's good that you can bring that sort of quality, that sort of energy, and that sort of willingness to run onto your team late on in a game, because we asked quite a few questions, not as many in the last 10 or 15 minutes, Liverpool, but certainly in this second half, it hasn't been a cruise for them. It's been a battle. They always knew it was going to be, but those chances at the start of the second half, they're kind of dried up a little bit for Bournemouth.
Van Dijk hits the free kick forward. Repelled by the head of Cook at right back. Tavernier to go with that long direct ball forward, and Kluivert plays it to Tavernier. They're coming forward now. Tavernier on the inside shoots. Oh, what an effort that was. The rebound put over. How unlucky was Tavernier? He must have been 25 yards out. It was a left-footed effort that cannoned back off the left-hand post.
Well, the chances dried up until 30 seconds after I said it, and what a brilliant run now. It's good. It's a good change he's made there. He needs a little bit of energy on that right-hand side. It's slowed down a little bit, but he's got inside. It's Robertson he's got inside there, and he's curled it in towards the back post. He's not a goalkeeper, Allison's not even close to it. He cannot believe it's not hit that inside that post and gone in. And even the follow-up there for Kluivert. I said before, everything that Kluivert touched recently has gone in. Well, that's two brilliant.
Bromley 0, Grimsby 2, Newport 1, Barrow 0, Blackpool 1, Charlton 2. So Blackpool have a goal back. Bournemouth are desperately unlucky. Still to be behind here to Liverpool. Let's get an update from Portman Road. Chris Coles.
Ipswich come close again. Still 1-1 with Southampton. Liam Delap, exquisite touch around his man. Right foot shot kept out by the feet of Ramsdale. Ipswich 1, Southampton 1.
It's a test for visiting sides, isn't it here? It's quite claustrophobic.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the biggest looking pitch in the world either. But, you know, players love that. Players love the atmosphere of that, and I think Liverpool players have enjoyed it as well.
Bradley forward, finds Núñez, shields the ball with his back to goal just outside the D, plays it back to Jones. Jones curls it out along the ground towards Bradley. Bradley will win a corner on the right-hand side of the penalty area. Howson came to meet him. Liverpool still leading by 1-0. St Johnstone, bottom of the Scottish Premiership, are leading in Paisley. St Mirren 0, St Johnstone 1 is the latest scoreline.
Interesting to see if they try and get the ball on the right-hand side a little bit more. Bournemouth, we're going up the left most of the time in the first half, but now we've made that change, and what an effect that Tavernier's had since he's come on. However, They're going to have to defend this corner kick first.
Szoboszlai then waits on this near side, the right. Takes his time, left-footed, out-swinging corner, over the head of Van Dijk, goes towards Gravenberch. Left side of the box, plays it back. Bradley, midway through the Bournemouth half. Liverpool still lead by a goal to nil. Bradley runs forward, enters the penalty area, shot charged down. In the air it goes, laid off by Tavernier, won back by Van Dijk of all people. Left-hand side of the penalty area now, and Van Dijk, well, he'll win a throw.
Yeah, playing jinky wing on the left-hand side there, Van Dijk. And of course he's very, very good at it. He's good about everything he does, but you know, at the moment, these Liverpool fans are understanding the importance of these moments. A couple of times now, if you think about it over the period of the game, the slightly better chances have gone to Bournemouth. They've hit the post twice when the keeper was definitely beaten, and also got other chances at the start of this second half. They feel themselves quite hard, don't they, just now, Bournemouth?
Liverpool still have the ball from the throw. Robertson will go back down the line. Fleetwood have got a goal back. Morecambe 3, Fleetwood Town 2. Huddersfield Town are on the score sheet as well. Northampton 3, Huddersfield 1. And there's been another goal at Hull City. Naz Premji.
Hull City 1, Stoke City 2. Andrew Moran, the sub off the bench in the centre of the box, scores. It could be a first win for Mark Robbins. This Hull City 1, Stoke City 2.
Kirkus is going to have to be careful because he wasn't happy that a decision has gone against him, and I think Darren England is just saying calm down, otherwise I'll book you for dissent.
It has to be said, he's been extra special today.
Kirkus,
Oh yeah, very, very. Remember who he's marking. He's marking Mo Salah. Not only has he done that incredibly well so far, and I underline that, so far, but when he's got the ball and he's gone forward, he's given Semenyo a little bit of help there. He's looked one of the most dangerous players on the field for Bournemouth.
Well, I know for a fact that Manchester United are tracking him. Liverpool have been heavily linked with him as well. Here is Kluivert coming forward. Held up just enough by Konate. Loose ball tidied up by Jones. Forward towards Nunez. Nunez now releases it towards Diaz. Diaz has gone to the left. Nunez through the middle. Salah running forward on the right-hand side. Instead, though, it's on that left, and it's played towards Jones. And Jones to the edge of the area now looks towards Salah. He's faced up by Kirkus. He tries to curl it. Oh, that's a beauty. That is an absolute beauty from Mo Salah. Left-footed, glided the ball in. And the leaders, Liverpool, look like they're going to overcome another hurdle here at Bournemouth. Bournemouth 0, Liverpool 2, a gem of a goal.
I mentioned right at the start of the first half, he plays for second half, Mo Salah. Gets very
I love Monday.com.
What's Monday.com?
It's a nightmare to defend against that man.
Jemison has come on, the young attacker for Ryan Christie. It's an attacking change by Erola as they still trail by 2-0. Mas Faruqi at Newcastle.
And Fulham have come from behind to lead here. Rodrigo Muniz, a substitute, directing in a free kick from the left in front of the Gallowgate end. Newcastle 1, Fulham 2 now.
The two results in League One earlier: Barnsley 0, Burton Albion 0, Stevenage 4, Exeter 1. Liverpool are attacking. Unfortunate slip by Jones as he was trying to play through the middle, and then Cook gets the ball away, but his clearance only falls towards Robertson, attacking at pace on that left-hand side. Forward towards Diaz. Diaz on the edge of the area. It's played back by Tavernier and cleared long by Kepa. So Bournemouth 0, Liverpool 2. It was Birmingham 1, Rotherham 1. Now a penalty. Tom Gale.
It's 1-1, Ian, but a penalty to Birmingham. Jay Stansfield, 15 goals in all competitions. Make that 16. The keeper went the right way. Chris Davies' side have come from behind. Birmingham 2, Rotherham 1.
I was going to say the top three in League One then are all leading. In fact, the top four, because Stockport County is still 1-0 up at Leyton Orient. The two results were Barnsley 0, Burton 0, Stevenage 4, Exeter 1. Birmingham then are ahead. Blackpool 1, Charlton 2, Cambridge 1, Wycombe 1. So Cambridge have just got an equaliser there against the 10 men of Wycombe. As hold on, Bournemouth are coming forward. Ball played out towards Clivert. Clivert goes back inside. Adams looks for the run of Clivert and gathered in at the second attempt by Allison. Crawley 0, Wrexham 1. Leyton Orient 0, Stockport County 1. Leyton Orient were unbeaten in 11 before today. Northampton lead Huddersfield Town by 3-1. Reading and Bolton is goalless. Shrewsbury down to 10 men, lead Mansfield by 2-1. Wigan 1, Lincoln 0. Let's get news of that Cambridge equaliser. Mark Webber.
Cambridge 1, 10-man Wycombe 1. Josh Stokes had his penalty saved in the 83rd minute, turns on the edge of the area and belts it into the top right corner to make it Cambridge 1, Wycombe Wanderers 1.
And I can actually tell you now the latest scores in the Championship. The three results, incidentally: Oxford United 1, Bristol City 1. Oxford still unbeaten since Gary Rowett took charge. That's 9 games now in the Championship. Plymouth, bottom of the table. They came from behind to beat West Bromwich Albion by 2-1. Watford 0, Norwich City 1. These are the latest scores: Derby 0, Sheffield United 1, Hull 1, Stoke City 2. The leaders, Leeds United, hammering Cardiff City by 5-0. Millwall 2, Queen's Park Rangers 1. Portsmouth Burnley is goalless. Sheffield Wednesday 1, Luton 1, Swansea City 0, Coventry City 2. Pat Nevin.
It's such a mature performance from Liverpool. You'd have known when to really press it on, take chances, but they've known, like just now, when to sit back and defend quite well, but they're still dangerous, Bournemouth.
Semenyo with a shot! Just wide, fractions wide, right-footed edge of the area, just past that right-hand post.
Yeah, you know, you've said it so many times that a team like Liverpool, if you get chances against them, you've got to take them. That's got to be 5 or 6 very, very presentable chances and close things that Bournemouth have had. Sometimes it's been good goalkeeping or the post or just past the post. I mean, they can be proud of themselves today, but you look at Liverpool, there's just such a maturity about them, there's such a belief about them, there's such a calmness about them, and it all comes, it has to be said, from one man. Van Dijk at the back, time and time again, you just think, stop it. You're doing it with such effortlessness.
Dundee 0, Hearts 5, Carlisle 0, Swindon Town 3. Morecambe 4, Fleetwood 2 is the latest score in League 2. You're up to date. In the Premier League, there's still been no change. After that, Forest 7, Brighton and Hove Albion 0 scoreline earlier. 2-0 to Liverpool here. Everton still lead Leicester City 3-0. Ipswich 1, Southampton 1, Newcastle 1, Fulham 2. They'll be getting underway very, very shortly in Dublin. You'll hear the start of that on Sports Extra. In fact, we can get a flavour of Dublin now with Chris Jones.
Oh, what an atmosphere building here, Deno. The smoke, the flames, the fireworks, the anthem, the packed out of Viva Stadium. A fascinating game full of narratives and subplots.
A comprehensive victory last night, and earlier Scotland beat Italy 31 points to 19. So the rugby is on its way. We've got about 6 minutes of normal time remaining. If you want uninterrupted coverage of that, then tune to Sports Extra now for Ireland against England, as Semenyo tries to muscle his way forward. And in the end, he was just stopped by a number of white shirts. Howson, lovely defending as well from the teenager. Oh! The referee has given a free kick, but he's given it to Bournemouth.
I have no idea why the referee stopped the play here. The play was going on. There's a player down injured, right? But it's not a serious head injury. He just got a little bit of knee in his nether regions on his backside, as it were. Surely can't have stopped the game for that.
Blackpool, who were 2-0 down, Blackpool 2, Charlton 2, Huddersfield Town are staging a fight back, Northampton 3, Huddersfield 2, and another goal at Portman Road. Chris Coles.
How significant could this goal be at the bottom of the table? Southampton have scored in the 88th minute to take a 2-1 lead. Shot well saved by Muric. Onuachu taps in the rebound. Ipswich 1, Southampton 2.
Just 6 points before today. Ipswich Town, have lost their last 3, that could be a costly defeat. The free kick was to Bournemouth.
Yeah, he's given it because he wants the players getting them from the physio. That's the first poor decision the referee's made for me today.
Kirkes on the left, tries to go on the outside of Bradley, sends over the cross. Diaz lifts it up in the air and then hooks it over his head, down by the byline on that far side. We've got 4.5 minutes of normal time remaining. Bournemouth 0, Liverpool 2, Fulham, Southampton on their travels are also leading, and Everton, with those first half goals at Goodison, still have a comfortable advantage over Leicester City. Carlisle United 1, Swindon Town 3, so Carlisle have a goal back, and another goal at Ellen Road. Lee Blakeman.
It is 6-0 to Leeds United. Firpo with the cross, put in by substitute Mateo Joseph. What a performance this has been. It could be 10, but it's Leeds 6, Cardiff 0.
Burnley are still drawing at Portsmouth, so Leeds United will be 5 points clear of Burnley, and Sheffield United will be 3 points clear of Scott Parker's side, who might well extend their unbeaten run to 17, but would be losing ground for those automatic places, as Reading have taken the lead at home to Bolton Wanderers. Reading 1, Bolton Wanderers 0 is the latest score in League One. We've got 3 minutes remaining of normal time. Bournemouth will be thinking, how have we not scored here today?
Yeah, they should be closer, and you do feel slightly sorry for them because they have kept on doing exactly the same thing all the way to the end. The energy levels are still very, very good just now, but they're not as good as they were before, and you see the gaps, and Salah's trying to make more capital.
Salah to Szoboszlai, Jones with a header, just drifts wide. Flag goes up, but it's to say it will be a goal kick to Bournemouth, as there's going to be another substitution. Endo's going to be coming on. Adam Cotton news of a goal at Walsall.
Walsall have come from 2 goals down. They are level at 2-2. Danny Johnson off the bench with both goals, nudging in following a corner to make it 2-2.
Carlisle 1, Swindon 4 is the latest.
Ian, Ireland 0, England, Ian, Ireland 0, England 0. A minute and 45 gone. Tactical game of chess already as Gibson Park goes to the skies, but no score yet.
Crawley have got a late equaliser at home to Wrexham, with Wickham ahead at Cambridge and Birmingham ahead against Rotherham. Only 1 win in 5 for Wrexham, could be losing further ground at the top of League One. Endo has come on for Mo Salah. So Mo Salah with a couple of goals here today, his job is done.
It's extraordinary. Do you know his second goal there? He's 20 yards out, he's on an angle, and you can only call it nonchalant, the way he did it, the way he called it. It was the most...
Forgotten that Cambridge next to bottom had pegged Wycombe back there.
Watching Semenyo getting the ball here, he was so dangerous to start of the first half, but Liverpool seem to understand where the dangers were, and they've kind of snuffed them out for most of the second half. But then again, you know, they've not been able to make the changes, as many changes as they'd like to, Bournemouth, and that's affected them as well.
Full time at Fratton Park, Hamish Marshall.
Portsmouth 0, Burnley 0, 5 draws in 7 games is halting Burnley's promotion hopes. James Trafford extended his clean sheet record beyond 12 hours, denying Matt Ritchie late on, 0-0.
We are into 5 minutes of added on time, 5 minutes away before we go from Bournemouth to Dublin for the rugby, where it's Ireland against England in the Six Nations. So we'll try and get in as many full-time scorelines as we possibly can, and also give you the full picture in the football before going to the rugby. Remember, the reaction from today's games in the Premier League will be on the 5 Live Football daily feed from your usual podcast provider. Match of the day tonight, 10:30, BBC One. Kirkes coming in. Bournemouth still looking to try and get on the score sheet as they trail 2-0, but Bradley will put the ball out of play for a throw. Pat.
You know, if they could get a goal just now, it'd make these last 4 minutes or so very, very exciting. But even though they've got into dangerous positions here, I mean, Liverpool do look very, very dangerous to the right. Nunes, he's not really had much an effect in the game there, but he's chased absolutely everything, and that's what you need sometimes, isn't it? If you're under a little bit more pressure, you know you've got an out ball, and Darwin Nunes has given them that.
Barrow, who've made that long trek from Cumbria to South Wales, have got an injury time equaliser. Newport County 1, Barrow 1. City 1. Semenyo on this near side, the left, does a little step over, looks to go on the outside of Bradley, pulls the ball back, excellent reaction save from Allison, took a deflection and he had to adjust his body and make a low save to his right.
It looks as if it's not going to be their day, and they'll be disappointed they've not got a player down injured who was caught by a shot by Howson there, which was absolutely nailed. And even though this is not a head injury, I have no problem whatsoever the referee stopping the game here. That was very, very painful indeed.
Another super save from Allison. Back to the rugby, Chris Jones.
6 minutes gone, Ireland 0, England 0, but an encouraging start from England. Marcus Smith made a clean line break, lots of kicking, as we said earlier, tactical game of chess being played by both head coaches, but no points. Compelling stuff though. 6.5 gone, Ireland 0, England 0.
Very soon you'll hear it here on BBC Radio 5 Live. The first half of Wolves Aston Villa will be on Sports Extra, then that will switch to 5 Live before 6:06. Manchester United Palace at 2 tomorrow, Arsenal Manchester City at 4:30. You'll hear here on 5 Live's Premier League Sunday, but we're halfway through the minimum of 5. But what an entertaining game it has been, Pat.
And a lot to learn from this game as well. I don't think Bournemouth should be embarrassed in any way, or even disappointed with themselves in any way at all, because they have played a great partner. They've created lots and lots of opportunities. They've been unlucky in many, many ways as well. But as I say, that intelligence, that match awareness, that maturity that Liverpool have got, it's shone through.
Hull City 1, Stoke City 2 is how it's finished. Sheffield United have won away at Derby County. They've lost their last 7 now, have Derby in the Championship. And so Sheffield United and Leeds, the top 2, both winning. Another goal in the Premier League, it's at Goodison Park. John Bennett.
The Everton fans are loving this. Everton 4, Leicester City 0. Illiman and Jai scoring for a 3rd Premier League game in a row. Embarrassing defending from Leicester, giving the ball away. He ran through to score. Everton 4, Leicester City 0.
Hearts have got a 6th goal at Dundee. Dundee 0, Hearts 6, and Leeds United 7, Cardiff City 0. And Wrexham in the 95th minute have taken the lead. Emily Herbert.
Well, Wrexham have their lead back. It's a low-headed cross into the bottom corner from Elliot Lee, the substitute. It's Crawley 1, Wrexham 2.
Everton leading Leicester then by 4 goals to 0. Liverpool 2-0 here. Pat Nevin.
Yeah, just a moment there where the ball was dropped.
Liverpool 2-0 here. Pat Nevin.
Yeah, just a moment there where the ball was dropped there, and Curtis Jones didn't go for it at all, and nearly a breakaway goal. That would have caused fury from the Liverpool bench had it gone in. However, skewed over the top of the crossbar.
Full time at St James's Park, Maz Faruqi.
And after that hugely impressive winning one, now back-to-back home defeats in the Premier League for Newcastle. Jacob Murphy put them ahead, with Fulham turning it around. Goals from Raul Jimenez and then Rodrigo Muniz. It's finished Newcastle 1, Fulham 2.
It's finished Cambridge 1, Wickham 1, Wickham down to 2.
His second one made it Leeds 7, Cardiff 0.
To Bournemouth's credit, as Kirker screws a shot over, they are still attacking the league leaders in the dying embers of this game. Pat,
do you know what? If you are in this, you're not a Liverpool fan, you're not a Bournemouth fan, you would think they deserve a goal. They really do deserve it, just because of the effort, the quality they've shown as well, the fact that they've not given up until this last second of the game. They're not finished yet. This is a run that's stopping now, but they've got a few games in a row now that are very, very winnable. This Bournemouth team ain't going to go anywhere. They're looking very good, even though they're 2-0 down against what is clearly the best team in the league.
Carlisle 1, Swindon Town 5, but it's finished here at Bournemouth. Thank you to Pat. Bournemouth 0, Liverpool 2. 2 goals from Mo Salah. His first with a penalty spot on the half hour, and then an absolute beauty 15 minutes from time. But Bournemouth was so unlucky. They created so many chances and they hit the woodwork twice. But Liverpool, the league leaders, march on, and they are now 9 points clear of Arsenal after this victory. But today it's all about the live sport. Bournemouth 0, Liverpool 2 is how it's finished here. But now we're going to the Six Nations in the company of Tommy Bowe, Matt Dawson and Chris Jones.
Thanks very much, Ian. Welcome to our listeners on 5 Live. 10 minutes gone. Ireland 0, England 7. England have made a terrific start here. They've bossed territory in possession, and they've come up with the killer blow when it's mattered. And it's Caden Murley who has scored for England on his debut. The Harlequin, after 8 and a bit minutes of his Test career, a dream start